So remember, tomorrow your assignment from yesterday is due, the one titled, what was it titled? Will your job be done by a machine? That one's due tomorrow. And then your vision board is due on Sunday night. If you get it done earlier and don't want to have to worry about it over the weekend, even better. But just kind of those reminders for you today. So yesterday, as a reminder of what we did, we watched that one video, about humans need not apply and kind of jobs that may be taken over in the future by robots or machines. And we had some discussion about kind of what has already been taken over and what we think might happen in the future. If you did that assignment, I saw a couple people already turned it in. But if you did that assignment, depending on what jobs you chose to look at on that website, there were some discrepancies. Some of the things that were said in the video were not quite the same as things that were said or shown on that website. So again, those are just predictions, different people making different predictions, different ways of analyzing things. We won't know really until it happens. I mean, we do know certain things. For example, we know self-driving cars are kind of on the rise and have that potential. Will they take over all of the transportation industry? Will they take over things like taxis and Ubers? Will they mostly be used for personal use? We don't really know. We can all make our assumptions and guesses, but we will find out with time. With that being said, I want to show the first thing we're going to look at is called is a map, and it's going to show the most common job in every state. So again, this is back from 2015. So the data we're going to look at here goes from 1978 to 2014. So it's from the Census Bureau. There were two categories not included: a managers not elsewhere classified and salesperson not elsewhere classified, that aren't included. But otherwise, this is kind of the jobs. So with that being said, what do you guys, so it's going to be a map and it's going to show it by state. And it's going to start at 1978. And then I'm going to kind of run the loop and it'll go to 2014. What do you think, and it's every 2 years, not every year. What do you think the most common job in California was in 2014 or any time frame in between there? What do you think the most common job was in California? You can type it, you can say it out loud and get a real discussion and not just a class chat discussion. So what do you think the most common job was in California anytime between 1978 and 2014? So we're going to wait for quite a few more answers. So some are to everybody and some are just to me. Few people are saying things possibly around food, maybe even fast food, a clerk, a farmer, truck driver, assistant, something in transportation, which could be taxi. Another couple other people did say farmer, truck driver, retail, secretary, engineer. All right, so construction worker. So this is back in 1978. So a long time ago. Is that 40 years ago? Just over 40 years ago. In California, the most common job was a secretary. And you can see just kind of looking around the US, that was the most common job also in Alaska, down here in Texas and the adjoining states, some over here in the South. Machine work operators were big in the late 70s. Farmers all up here. A few states were truck drivers, recreation attendant in Nevada. So we're going to play this and you're going to kind of watch what happens over time. All right, so you can see, I meant to pause it, but I forgot. California stays secretary up until 1990. It's a secretary. Then 1992, it becomes a truck driver. And it stays a truck driver all the way through here for California. And that's where we're going to focus because that's where we are. We'll talk about a couple other ones. So as you can see in 2014, truck driver here was more than half of, was the most common job in more than half of the states. And I didn't quite count, but it looks like maybe even 30, 35 states, truck driver was the most common job. So something more to think about is some people yesterday said truck drivers might become not needed with the fact that these self-driving cars and machines are going to kind of be able to do a lot of this for us. Is that something that's going to happen tomorrow? No. Is that something that's going to happen down the road? Maybe. And then what's going to happen with all of these truck drivers? Are new jobs going to be created? Or are they just not going to be employable anymore? Is it going to phase out over time? Just stuff to think about. You can see farming stays up there in some of the states. Some of them bounce back and forth. If you look at this section on farming, secretary is kind of big. It dies down a little bit. In 2000, you can see 2000, look at how many truck driving had the most common job. Almost everywhere. Looks like maybe 7 or 8 states it wasn't. Secretary isn't one I personally would have ever thought about. If we look at Nevada, so Nevada was recreation attendant, stayed recreation attendant, cashier, cook, recreation attendant, cook, cashier, retail clerk. Why do you think those might be the most common in Nevada? What are your thoughts? There's no wrong answer. I don't know the for sure answer. I have my opinions, but why do you think Nevada, recreation attendant, cook, cashier, retail clerk? So a couple of people, thank you for answering. Yeah, so Vegas, buffets, casinos, they possibly, I would assume, I'm not sure, they bring in a lot of tourists. I do know that, but like a recreation attendant, that's going to be the people that work in casinos because that's recreation. That maybe they don't have as many options there in Nevada. But a lot of them is based on that tourism industry with those casinos, buffets, hotels, etc. So again, just something to kind of think about, especially if maybe you're thinking about moving out of state. Just a different perspective. I thought it was interesting. Hopefully you find it a little interesting too. Okay, with that being said, we are going to move on to the next part, which is a resume. So a little more than half of you between all my classes don't have a resume. So I do think it's important to keep a resume. So even if you have a resume, yes, you're still doing this to some extent. So if you have a resume, you're just going to update it. You don't need to start over. Maybe you updated it last semester at the beginning, and you can update it now. Maybe you've done something else. Maybe you've learned something else about yourself with online schooling. Maybe you made a resume for a job and you have a club or something to add to it. So you're just updating it if you do already have one. You are still going to go through the videos to see kind of what they suggest that you add. If you've done these exact videos before, email me or stay after class and we can chat and talk about another option unless you want to watch them again. I have no way of really knowing. So in your Google Classroom, you're going to go here to the Teach and Learn Practical Digital Skills, or you can just search Applied Digital Skills online. So Google Classroom, click on the link. Something like this pops up. And then you're going to sign in with your school email, please. I've already signed in, but you will sign in with your school email and it will look, I think, something like this when it loads. It should look something like this, kind of similar to Google Classroom because it is the same platform. This is linked to Google Classroom, so I didn't add you. I just connected my Google Classroom here, and since you guys are in my Google Classroom, when you sign in, it should automatically add this class for you. So that's part of it. I need to make sure all of you get in. So I can see 8 of you have signed in so far. If you have, how many of you have used the Applied Digital Skills platform before for another class? Just say I have, or yes, me, something like that. Just trying to get an idea. And we're still doing this lesson regardless. I just kind of don't know where everyone is. All right, so we have about half of our class here so far. So again, going to Google Classroom, clicking this link, or just searching in Google Applied Digital Skills, log in with your school email, and it should bring you here. There should be no need to get a class code or anything. All right, give a little bit more time and then I'll go over it for you guys. Right, so most of us are here. So you should have a current lesson there called Create a Resume in Google Docs. Again, if you have a resume, you're still going to go through this. You're just going to update your resume. So it's loading. I can see someone's kind of farther ahead. Maybe they started it in another class. I'm not sure. But if I go to view progress details, and this is where I'm going to kind of give you a grade from. Right here, it shows you there are 9 steps or videos in this lesson. If you go to PowerSchool, you will see something, I think it's called like resume videos or something, and it's a score out of 9. I'm just taking the score straight from here. So if you don't watch a video and maybe end it 5 seconds early and it doesn't give you credit, I'm not giving you credit for that. I can't see that you watched almost all of that video. So make sure you follow along with your progress to see kind of how far you are, because this score is going to go into Power School. It'll go in there. So these videos are due by tomorrow afternoon. Just kind of watching them. You don't have to finish your resume by then, though you should. A draft at least. If you happen to do these later after I get them in Power School, just email me. I don't check this very regularly at all. I check Google Classroom for your assignments, but this, since we're only using it now and maybe one other assignment, if you finish it late, you just have to email me. Okay, so this is where I'm getting your score from, just kind of a heads up. If I go back to the assignment, sorry, my computer is going really slow today. So it tells you the lesson here. If you scroll down, there are 9 steps, and that's kind of going to be what it is. So like this first one, oh, I'm glad it doesn't play. You can see is like just a 2-minute long video. And it walks you through it. It tells you up here on the left kind of what you need to do. Create a new document, title it Resume Brainstorm. I am not going to collect your brainstorm. If you have not made a resume, yes, you need to brainstorm. If you already have one and you're just adding to it, it's not as important because you've probably already done that. So you're going to go through all of those. This extension thing, it's just something to kind of look around with. Maybe you want to look at formatting it. Maybe you want to look at a cover letter. Just kind of look around a little bit. You don't have to actually
previous activity,
do one of them. Did I want you to? But just kind of choose what one you think would be the most interesting to you. So you don't have to go through the whole platform because some of them are like over an hour long. Let me know. So number 9 is kind of just picking one, but not actually doing it, just so that you get the credit on that one. Makes it easier for me. So let me see how many people are here now. Do you guys have any questions on this resume?
All right, so if you've already created one, can you like kind of put it in there?
So you're not actually putting anything in here that I'm going to grade. If you've already created one, you're just going through the videos and kind of hearing what they have to say and another perspective on it. The resume isn't actually due itself until next Friday. Even if you have one already, yes, you're updating it now, but next week in class, we're going to talk about resumes. It's part of chapter 1 in your book. And so I will kind of give a few more insights on things I've seen and give you guys a chance to kind of edit yours one more time. And it's due next Friday. So even though you may have a resume done, I don't recommend turning it in now because you might need to unsubmit it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But yes, so to get the credit for the assignment, your resume itself is due next week. You need to go through those videos. Again, if you've already done these videos, those need to be done by tomorrow. If you've already done them, stay after class and talk to me and we will figure it out. So videos due tomorrow, resume next week at the end of the week, and I will remind you because we will be talking about it during class next week, I believe on Wednesday.
Oh, is it the introduction to create a resume in Google Docs and beyond?
No.
Or is it those ones or?
Yes, but make sure you're signed in to get credit for it.
Okay.
Because it should be listed right here under your current lesson.
Alrighty.
So if you don't have any other questions, you are free to go. I'm going to stick around to answer questions. Remember, your assignment is due tomorrow. Vision board is due Sunday. And then you'll be back here on Monday at 1 o'clock. There will be an attendance question tomorrow. It's just a multiple choice question. Sometimes it might be a sentence or two. Look for that in Classroom. It's due by noon. I will post it sometime between 8 and 9. And it's due tomorrow by 12 o'clock. But other than that, you're free to go. Have a good weekend. If you're not signed in and need help, stick around and I can walk you through it.
Bye, Ms. Rose.
Bye.
Okay, hold up. I kind of need help. So
Yeah, that's fine.
Miss Rice.
kind of confused. So is it just like activity reflection and then edit and format your resume and all those videos?
And they're listed like 1 through 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just start at number 1 and it'll walk you through it. And sometimes it'll tell you to do things. It'll say like, okay, create this. It might even say pause this video and write this down.
Oh, okay. So I just have to complete the videos?
And do what so you already have a resume?
Yeah.
So yeah, just complete the videos. And if there's something in there that you're gonna want to add to your resume, it's just kind of another perspective on it.
Ah,
So
okay.
you'll just be
Thank you.
updating your resume.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Miss Rice.
Yes.
I have, so like this resume that.
Hold on 1 second. I can barely hear you. I don't know if it's my speakers. Okay, go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, my
Uh,
speakers were unplugged. I didn't realize it.
Oh. So the resume that's due next week. So like, will we have that for like the rest of our career, like the rest of our life? Or-
Yeah, actually, and that's something I should have said. I said it last period. It's something that I'm going to tell you guys to kind of save in your personal file and not just your school email, because when you graduate, the school will shut down your account. And you want your resume to be something that you can take with you.
Okay. Well, that was the only question I had.
Okay.
Bye. I'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, bye. Have a good weekend.
And my name is Aaliyah, by the way.
Okay. Bye, Aaliyah. Thank you.